I see you sitting there, my precious child. I am here with you, right now, in the quiet spaces of your home. I know that the house feels different these days. The rooms that once echoed with the chaotic, beautiful noise of growing children, of hurried footsteps, of family dinners and slammed doors, are now wrapped in a deep, sometimes heavy, silence. I watch as you walk down the hallway, your fingers lightly grazing the frames of old photographs on the wall. I see the smiles captured in glass, frozen in time, and I know the profound ache that sometimes grips your chest when you realize how swiftly those years slipped through your fingers. You look in the mirror and trace the lines on your face, wondering where the vibrant, energetic youth went, and how you suddenly became a 70-year-old daughter living alone. But to me, you are not just an aging woman in an empty house. You are my beloved daughter, as cherished and vibrant to me today as the moment I first breathed life into your lungs. If my words brought peace to your heart today, please leave a like to help share this comfort with others. Subscribe to the channel so we can continue to walk together, side by side, every single day. I want to speak directly to the weariness in your soul. I know there are mornings when simply rising from your bed feels like a monumental task, not just because of the physical aches that accompany the passing of time, but because of the invisible weight of memories and the daunting prospect of another long, quiet day. The world outside your window seems to spin faster and faster, completely consumed by its own noise and ambition, and you sometimes wonder if you have been left behind. You watch the news, you see the changing culture, and a quiet fear tries to build a nest in your heart. You wonder if you matter anymore. You wonder if the best parts of your story have already been written, and if all that remains is a slow fading into the background. I hear the silent questions you ask when the sun goes down and the house settles. Did I do enough? Was I a good enough mother? What will happen to me when my body can no longer keep up? Let me gently take those burdens from your shoulders right now. I am not a distant, unfeeling God, sitting light years away, judging your moments of doubt. I am the Savior who wept, who bled, and who understands human sorrow intimately. I know the paralyzing fear of becoming a burden to the very children you sacrificed everything to raise. I know the sharp sting of waiting for a phone call that doesn't come because your children are caught up in the whirlwind of their own lives, raising their own families, building their own careers. It is not that they do not love you. It is that the world has taught them to rush. But I am never rushing. I have all the time in eternity, and I choose to spend it sitting right beside you. I also know the deep, secret guilt you carry, the regrets about the mistakes you made decades ago, the words you wish you could unsay to your spouse, the moments of impatience with your children, the financial decisions that didn't pan out. You replay these moments in your mind like an old, worn-out film, punishing yourself for not being perfect. My darling daughter, I did not die on the cross so that you could spend your twilight years trapped in a prison of self-condemnation. I bore all of that weight so you wouldn't have to. Every mistake, every flaw, every moment you fell short, it is all covered by my boundless grace. I do not look at you and see a catalog of failures. I look at you and see a beautiful, resilient woman who has weathered the storms of life and who is deeply, profoundly loved. The pain you feel is valid. The loneliness is real. The transitions of aging are difficult and sometimes frightening. I will never dismiss your tears or tell you to simply get over it. When you weep in the quiet of your bedroom, I am collecting those tears. When your heart is heavy with anxiety about your health or your independence, I am wrapping my arms around you. You are allowed to grieve the seasons that have passed, but I also want to assure you that the book of your life is not closed. There is still purpose, there is still joy, and there is still profound peace available to you in this very moment. You do not have to carry the weight of the past or the fear of the future for one more second. I am here to lift it from you completely and forever. Now, let us walk together through this home of yours. Life happens so rapidly that, without even realizing it, we allow certain habits and fears to take root in our living spaces. I want to protect you. I want your home to be a sanctuary of my peace, not a fortress of anxiety. As a 70-year-old daughter living alone, there are 5 dangerous things, hidden hazards of the heart and mind, that you absolutely must avoid keeping inside your home. These are not physical trip hazards, but spiritual and emotional traps that the enemy uses to steal your joy and extinguish your light in this beautiful season of your life. The first dangerous thing to remove from your home is the echo chamber of isolation. It is so easy when you live alone to lock the doors, close the blinds, and retreat inward. You may tell yourself that you don't want to bother anyone, that your children are too busy, or that your friends have their own problems. But isolation is a thief. It distorts your reality and magnifies your fears. You were not created to carry the human experience alone. I want you to open your windows, let my sunlight in, and reach out. Pick up the phone, invite a neighbor for coffee. Do not let the walls of your home become a barrier between you and the love that I want to flow into your life through others. The second hazard is the heavy armchair of regret. You know exactly what this is. It is that comfortable but toxic space where you sit for hours, dwelling on the what-ifs and the if-onlys. You sit there and analyze how you could have been a better parent, how you could have managed your money better, or how you might have preserved a broken relationship. My child, you must drag this armchair out to the curb. Regret is an anchor that prevents you from sailing into the grace of today. The past is forgiven. It is washed clean. When you sit in the armchair of regret, you are telling me that my sacrifice was not enough to cover your mistakes. Stand up, walk away from those shadows, and sit instead in the light of my total forgiveness. The third danger you must avoid is the locked box of unforgiveness. As you reflect on your 60 or 70 plus years, there are undoubtedly people who have hurt you deeply. Perhaps a spouse who betrayed you, a child who abandoned you, or a friend who broke your trust. Keeping resentment inside your home is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. It hardens your heart and blocks the flow of my peace. I know the pain they caused was real, but I am asking you to hand that locked box over to me. Forgive them, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve to be free. Let me be your vindicator and your healer. The fourth peril lurking in your home is the mirror of fading worth. This is the lie that tells you that because your skin is wrinkled, because your steps are slower, and because you are no longer in the workforce, your value has diminished. The world measures worth by productivity and youth, but my kingdom operates entirely differently. In my eyes, your wisdom, your prayers, and your quiet resilience are more precious than fine gold. Every time you look in the mirror, I want you to look past the physical changes and see the magnificent, refined soul that I have been polishing for decades. You are a masterpiece, and your presence on this earth is still desperately needed. The fifth and final dangerous thing is the shadow of the unknown future. This is the looming anxiety about nursing homes, about who will take care of you when you cannot, about your inheritance, and about what you will leave behind for your children. You worry about generational wealth and making sure your family is secure. But I want to remind you that true generational wealth is not just about leaving behind houses and bank accounts. The greatest inheritance you can leave your children is a legacy of unwavering faith, profound peace, and a life anchored in my love. Do not let the shadow of tomorrow's logistics rob you of today's joy. You are building a spiritual inheritance every time you choose to trust me in the face of uncertainty. Let go of the worry about the final arrangements. I have already gone ahead of you to prepare the way. We have cleared the hazards from your home, my beautiful daughter. The isolation, the regret, the unforgiveness, the false mirrors, and the shadowy fears have been swept out the door. Now, breathe in the fresh air of my Holy Spirit. Feel the atmosphere in your living room shift from heavy anxiety to an airy, weightless peace. This is the turn of grace. This is where you realize that my timing and my solutions look nothing like the world's expectations. The world tells you that your story is winding down, that the time for impact has passed, and that you must simply endure the remaining years. But I am telling you that in my kingdom, the final chapters are often the most glorious, because they are written entirely in the ink of surrender and grace. Never believe the lie that it is too late for you. Time is not a master to me. I created time, and I hold every second of your future in my capable hands. The time that remains for you on this earth whether it is 1 year or 3 decades, is more than enough for complete redemption, profound healing, and deep, unshakable joy. I am breathing new life into your weary bones right now. You do not have to figure out the grand mysteries of your family's future or solve the complex puzzles of your aging body. Your only task today is to rest in my love. When the anxieties about nursing care or financial inheritance try to creep back in, I want you to remember the promise I made to you in the book of Isaiah, chapter 46, verse 4. Even to your old age and gray hairs I am He. I am He who will sustain you. I have made you, and I will carry you. I will sustain you, and I will rescue you. Read those words again, and let them sink into the deepest parts of your soul. I will sustain you. I will carry you. I will rescue you. You do not have to carry yourself anymore. You do not have to carry your children anymore. I know you love them with an intensity that hurts, but they are mine first. Release them into my care. Trust that the seeds of love, discipline, and provision you planted in them will bear fruit, even if you cannot see it all right now. The greatest gift you can give your family in this season is the testimony of a woman who is completely at peace, who does not fear the grave, and who walks hand in hand with her Creator. That is the ultimate generational wealth, a legacy of an unshakable, radiant soul that teaches the next generation how to age with grace and fearless dignity. I want to fill your empty house with my tangible presence. I want to be the first voice you hear when you wake up in the quiet morning, and the comforting embrace you feel when you lay your head on the pillow at night. You are never, ever alone. Every time you pour a cup of tea, I am sitting across the table from you. Every time you tend to the plants in your window, I am guiding your hands. Your life is still a magnificent adventure, a quiet, holy communion between you and me. The world may look at a 70-year-old woman living alone and see solitude, but I look at you and see a sacred sanctuary where my spirit dwells in absolute fullness. You have worked so hard all your life. You have cared for others. You have worried. You have planned, and you have sacrificed. Now, my precious daughter, it is time for you to be cared for. It is time for you to let me hold you. Let the striving cease. Let the guilt melt away completely. Look out your window at the sky, the same sky I painted just for you, and know that the Creator of the universe is utterly captivated by you. Your future is secure. Your legacy is safe in my hands. Your soul is completely, entirely forgiven. Step into this final, beautiful act of your earthly journey, not with trepidation, but with the quiet, triumphant confidence of a beloved child going home. Leave your burden in the comments below. Type, "I receive your peace, Lord." I want you to subscribe to this channel so that we can continue to walk together, side by side, every single day. I am with you always.